Hey guys, it is me, Jaden.
Do this thing together, close your eyes and take my hand. 'Cause what we have is something special, baby. Let's just take our chance.
This is Sunday when I'm filming this the same day it's going up. I'm sorry this is like lumpy. That's gonna be distracting, I'm sorry, I pointed it out too. But anyways, I'm going to be filming a Bible study today. We post these every Sunday. Sometimes we may miss like a week or two. This Bible study is one that I did for our school Bible study. If you want to watch this again and you were there, that is completely fine. But if you want to skip it since you heard it, that's okay with me. This is about misconceptions we may have about the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, and their story. Let's get into this video. So I'd like to say I am vlogging today, so that'll be up on Tuesday. God made for Adam and Eve the first man and woman to ever be created, Adam from dust and Eve from the rib of Adam. He made them a safe and beautiful garden where they constantly had access to God and where he would walk with them. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure my preacher said God, he disguised himself while walking with them. I think he disguised himself, but he would talk with them and walk with them. They constantly had him right there with him and access to him. We always have access to him, but in their case, like, he was there. I want to start with reading chapter 1 of Genesis, parts of it. I want to read 11. And God said, "Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seeds, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind on the earth." The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning, the third day. These are just things that I have highlighted. I want to read chapter 1, verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created him. He created him. Male and female, he created them. So God did create Adam from dust. It says later on, as Adam was sleeping, God took a rib out of him and put it into Eve, and that's why we all have an extra rib, women. It's for carrying babies. This is verse 29. And God said, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food, and of every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given you every green plant for food." In the garden were delicious fruits, vegetation of every single kind. God made those for Adam and Eve. Only one tree could they not eat from. This was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. If they ate of it, their eyes would figuratively be opened. They would see things they had not noticed before. So I'm going to read chapter 2, verses 15 through 17. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You may surely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat it you shall surely die." I'm going to read all of chapter 3 because I think it just shares so much information. It's very interesting. I really think you guys should try and pay attention to this and take notes because it's very cool. Now the serpent was more crafty than any other beast of the field that the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, "Did God actually say, 'You shall not eat of any tree in the garden'?" And the woman said to the serpent, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden, but God said, 'You shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, neither shall you touch it, lest you die.' But the serpent said to the woman, 'You will not surely die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will see God, knowing good and evil.' So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate." The serpent was Satan in disguise. We are tempted every single day. They were tempted by him to eat the fruit, disobeying God. The one rule God gave them, they disobeyed because the serpent, Satan, got the best of them. Then the eyes of both were opened, and they knew they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves loincloths. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of day. And the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. But the Lord God called to the man and said to him, "Where are you?" And he said, I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. He said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you not to eat? The man said, the woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me the fruit of the tree, and I ate it. The Lord God said to the woman, what is this that you have done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me, and I ate. The Lord God said to the serpent, because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock, and above all beasts of the field. On your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. I'll put enmity, I'm not sure how to say that word, between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. To the woman he said, I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. And to Adam he said, because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth to you. And you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for you are dust, and to dust you shall return. The man called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. And the Lord God made for Adam and Eve, and for his wife, garments of skins and clothed them. Then the Lord God said, behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Now, lest he reach out his hand, and take also of the tree of life and eat, and to live forever. Therefore the Lord God sent out from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he was taken. He drove out the man, and at the east of the Garden of Eden he placed the cherubim and a flaming sword that turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. Many people who vaguely know the story of Adam and Eve usually have the misconception that as soon as they ate of the forbidden fruit, they just dropped dead. I know so many people who have always thought this. If this was the case, they'd have no time at all to reproduce the earth, to populate it, to have kids, Noah, on. What actually happened after Adam and Eve were tricked by the devil in the form as a serpent, that they both started dying. It's a punishment for them and us. Before they ate of the fruit, all was well, and they were pure and perfect. God also punished them by kicking them out of the garden and making them build their lives, fend for themselves, and produce a population. So as punishment, God made childbirth painful on Eve and for all women to come. This is something that I looked up. I was so curious. I was like, what was the forbidden fruit? And I found a lot of sites that said most people think it was similar to an apple, which is kind of cool. That is the Bible study for today. If you have any questions, please comment. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment anything you want to comment about. Questions, suggestions for future Bible studies, anything. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!